So hello everyone, this is AetherNightmare and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. This is going to be somewhat of a unique and highly edited episode because I did the Binding Coils of Bahamut. Yes, I'm recording this in post. But it turns out I attempted in my first go around to do it solo, and even after giving myself better equipment more suited to Heavensward, it turns out I probably won't be able to solo the entirety of the quest closer until level 80, if not 90. So, that being the case, what's an Alra to do? Open up the party finder. And so I did, and I pretty much got carried through the vast majority of it, but since I was told that the cutscenes have a tendency to change depending on what expansion you get them done, it is in fact best to get them done during A Realm Reborn. And thus I have. So going forward, you will see probably an attempt of me doing runs by myself, and I get pretty darn close at the beginning there, but turns out there's actually 3 whole stages, so it's not 5 Binding Coils of Bahamut, it's 15. And as a result, I need to call upon people to carry me, and some shenanigans happen, some things don't go to plan, but in the end, we pull through. So big thank you to everyone random through the party finder who has joined. If you ever find this video in the future, hi! I will be blurring out parts of the text as well, just to preserve some degree of privacy, just because, you know, people don't always know if they're being recorded. But in this instance, let me present to you Bren's journey through the Binding Coil of Bahamut. Imperial Exploratory Site 237 Yalms. Alright, let's just give it a shot. I'm by myself. I don't exactly have the best gear yet. The scars left by the calamity. I can scarce breathe for the surfeit of Aether. Tell me, have you ever seen corrupted crystals such as these? Such crystals manifested across the realm when the course of the great river of Aether was irrevocably altered 5 years ago. Behold one of the objects that caused the alteration, a fragment of the lesser moon Dalamud. Ancient ally created Dalamud, or Meteor, to use the Garlean name, to serve as a celestial prison for Bahamut. Its fall inflicted grievous wounds upon the land, the wounds that have yet to heal, as is evident from the corrupted crystals. Amazing! Dalamud's internal defenses still function in spite of everything, a testament to the ingenuity of the Alligans. The Garleans seek to appropriate their advanced technology. I am certain of it. We are about to come face to face with secrets that have long laid buried within the sands of time. Great dangers may lie beyond, but we've come too far to turn back. The truth of the calamity is within reach. Yeah, a lot of people recommended being 80 for this, but they were in DPS class, so here's hoping maybe as a level 70 tank, I'll have a better shot. Ooh, that stuns. Oh yeah, I'm stunned. Gotta be careful. Kind of reminds me of Ozma. Like a mechanical Ozma. Okay, that thunder is just undodgeable. Ooh, there's 2 now. Hello. Do I want to focus on the other one? says attack node. I don't know. How strong is attack node? I'm told this is technically an expert dungeon, so I'm gonna treat like everything in here as a boss, even if that means I have to go really, really slow. Okay, there's another one. Defense node. Ball is down. Meteor Fisher is sealed off. Charge complete in 3 clicks. Where am I? It's big in here. God's preserve. Is that a wing? Dark wings that would engulf the very heavens. Just to give you some scale of how big Bahamut was. These could only belong to Bahamut, the primal who laid Eorzea to waste 5 years ago. At Cartenow, my grandfather sought to imprison Bahamut anew by invoking the power of the 12. Alas, the dreadworm proved too powerful, and he soon broke free of his confines. Yet instead of resuming the destruction he had begun, Bahamut vanished, whither to no one knew, until this day. But I do not understand. If Bahamut is truly a primal, how is it that he retains his physical form? Did Grandfather defeat him, or is there some other explanation? Your guess is as good as mine. We must press on if we are to learn the truth. That looks kind of like Louisoix. But he did. Somebody's following us, though. Louisoix didn't become an Ascian, did he? Oh, and it's the opening theme music in here, too. Can I pull only one? Nope, I pull all 3. Where do I go? It says here, but... Oh, here we go. Wrap around. I mean, maybe something about this place could create, like, an image of Louisoix? Is it Bahamut's memories? Dark matter. Everything in here is dark matter something. Oh, they're all coming for me. Because I'm tank, I think I'm doing okay, even if I'm only level 70. We'll see how that holds when I get to a boss. appear to be any treasure in here. Or maybe the crystal is outside of Bahamut? Or irradiated so much aether that, I don't know, he became crystal? Because is aether an infinite resource? They mentioned before in the story that if they summoned too much or used too much magic, they would drain the world dry, and that having Ramu out, the Sylphs explain that if he continued to exist in a physical form, it would drain the land of Aether. So then where does Aether come from? Coral. Anything you hiding? Don't think so. The guide I read in this place too said that some of these moves are going to be instant death, so I gotta be really careful. There is the boss barrier. It's a lot more cinematic in here than it is for some of the other dungeons. I'm curious if I was to run it with a party, how patient people would be. Probably not very. Okay, but this looks like it's absorbed maybe some of the machinery in here. It's a Final Fantasy XII enemy. We've seen these around Mordona. Okay, seems to like fast hitting. Let's just focus on some degree of self-heal here. Let's zoom out. Another one. Said this boss would split in two. Ooh, did they both drop one? Oh, I gotta get off those. a little rough. Summon another one. I thought I heard something behind me. I can't stun it either. Oh, close. Oh, I gotta just try and do as much damage as possible. And hope. I knew it was coming this time. I could kind of just sense it. Cool. Probably not gonna have enough time. Nope. Probably after so many attacks. Yeah. Oh god. Come on, so close, so close. Oh, right as I used it. Okay, I'm gonna try going in here by myself. I did so before with my Ultima weapon, but my Zodiac weapon, I should say, but it didn't turn out too well. I made it a little ways, but I was just a smidge off for a boss. Can the Aether create leyline illusions like Genshin can? Is it just a memory of someone, or is it really him? So I'm curious, when Bahamut was summoned, did he know Bahamut was in the moon? Or did he just think that it was a meteor spell? Which, sorry, but a meteor spell that big would erase the whole world. This Final Fantasy XII thing. Which, did the Algans also make guardians? Why is it glowing? Let's see if I can hold out this time. Why is it not going? That makes a goop puddle. Ah, there we go. Oh no, that was actually it calling a friend. That is not what I thought was going to happen. I'm doing okay right now, but this thing eventually powers up. Oh, yep, it's powering up. There it goes. Let me do the thing. Healing move takes too long to regenerate. Even if I just had one healer with me, man. There we go. Stay off the glowy tiles, but none appeared under my feet, so I got lucky. Wait, was that the whole thing? I thought there was more. Oh. Oh my gosh. Elegant something. What were those? Special Aether Stones? I'm gonna get rid of some of the stuff. I don't need this anymore. It probably hurts to see someone throw that away, but... Special Allegan stuff. I need that. Get rid of that. I didn't know it was gonna take a ton of treasure. Ah. What does this do? Piety. How many slots we got? Okay, we got enough slots. We're good. We're good. Elegant Earrings of Casting and Elegant Choker of Healing. These again are for my healer. Imperial Exploratory Site, 912 yalms. Or maybe yalms is how far to the center? This looks like one of the big pillars that came down in the opening cutscene. Well, now there's a whole ton of those balls. And then there's me. It's kind of weird that it's sectioned off like this instead of being one huge dungeon. Oh dear. I'm sorry, I'm going where? Does it say the duty you must have been granted the power of the echo? Not quite sure what that means, but thank you. Charge completed in 12 clicks. What happens in 12 clicks? Sector 1 is no longer sealed. Should I pick a direction? Does it matter? I wonder if this thing absolutely obliterates me if I don't defeat it in time. High voltage hits the whole arena, it seems. Something down there. This one has the boss one, though. It doesn't cause them all to attack me if I don't take out the whole crew, do it? Get to the disposal mode. Such fight will be sealed off in 15 seconds. This is the trash chute. Am I going out the Star Wars trash chute? This one made it seem like it was the boss, but I'm a tad confused. Oh no. I got stunned as I was running away. Okay, these seal up. ADS this one more is probably the boss, but we've already faced one of these before, so... It hurts! Let's get some of this going then. Oh, it ate something. Charge complete in 8 clicks. Elegant rot, that's new. Okay, that's also because I had vulnerability stacks. So I think what I'm gonna do too, if it is timed, okay, I'm gonna take out these, but my vulnerability stack I think wears off. I wonder if maybe taking out the other nodes helps. Is there a reason we pick a path? We're up to 6 vulnerability sacks, but if I just sit here for a bit, it should go down by 1. Oh no, it erased the whole thing. Okay, good to know, good to know. But if it does a vulnerability counter, it's gotta start over. Take out some orbs. Wait a few seconds first. Okay, that opens the way to the boss, though. So I might actually take this moment to come up and around. I'm curious. Maybe taking out the other nodes will lower the boss's power. This one's a click charger. Ooh. If I was a Dragoon, I could have jumped back out of that. Probably actually better I run forward towards it, actually. Okay. Charge complete in 7 clicks. Who's charging? Oh, shit. I went in here, right? There we go. Vulnerability. Reset. I hope the exact opposite isn't happening, that the boss is charging up. Shoot. Wasn't paying attention. I wonder if it wants me to sprint as fast as possible. Yeah, charge complete in 6 clicks. To get down to, like, the boss, find the fastest route. And then take them all out together. Because otherwise, what in the doomsday apocalypse? The door's closed. I don't know what that was about. I didn't click my mouse in any sort of way. Alright, wait for this to go down. Charge complete in 4 clicks. Oh, he's already got my stack up super high. stop doing that. It's gonna hit me. I literally can't get out of some of these fast enough. Nope. Alright, floor 2. I did try this one on my own. I failed. I brought recruitments this time because I wasn't strong enough to do it myself and I need to get that story done before ARR. I may come back at a later date to try and do some of these extremes by myself once I myself am level 90, but for now, I need assistance. Alright, let's follow the cat boy. Like with turn 8's stupid avatar. So I one-shot these, but if they take the wrong amount of damage beforehand, we might have to sit through actual mechanics. Dumb instant death missiles. Oh, maybe I was dying to instant death. Maybe that's what happened. I might put in my failure run when I edit these. Oh, I see. So now I'm just being escorted. Duty complete. Oh wait, that's the whole thing? Yep. Lemao. Alright, loot. I'm gonna reward you guys the loot. You guys have earned it for helping. I'm not doing anything. You all are carrying my butt. Ooh, Zeppy. Engine room. 1233 yalms. That's my business model. Nice. Hi, Alag Fend gear looks so good. Whee! Yeehaw! And they're already dead. Okay, I see the ring. I was told to jump through rings in the guide I looked at. They must have done the guide as all one big thing. Whoop. Wait, no logic. Whoa, there we go. we wind up in different spots? Nope. They're just behind me. It's just slow. Whoop. Oh, didn't quite go there. I see. It goes down. This place is so interesting. I know I'm not talking, but I wonder if this is like a core to the moon. I'm doing none of it by myself. I'm just being carried. Oh well. I will come back one day and do it by myself. But in the meantime, story. I think this one. Wait. That way? We've been separated. Is there no treasure in this one? Saying I'm hoping to help others like this when I'm level 92. Alright, let us... Okay, there's a terminal. Is there a terminal here? Elevator. Drive cylinder. Mimics! Spider mimics! Spider mimics and a dreadnought from Final Fantasy XIII. Spider mimics are from Final Fantasy XII, by the way. Wait. I'm a dumbass. Yeah, all these are Final Fantasy XIII. Me too. The other enemies are from 13. Oh, it's just an elevator? Alright. Passing up. There you go. That's the deal. Central Core, 1910 yalms. Ooh, that's a claw. This doesn't look crystallized, though. This looks like he's still... No, it's crystal. It's crystal. These platforms remind me of 10-2. Final boss of 10-2. This is going rather more smoothly than expected. Thanks, it's the people carrying us. It is indeed convenient to have a hero on hand. Gods, that the cavern should open up again, even at this depth. How deep is this moon? This resembles a finger. Resembles 3 fingers. It's Bahamut's paw. And so it should. It's Bahamut's hand. As with the wings, it seems to be frozen, and for that I count my blessings. But again I find myself wondering, how is it able to retain physical form? I had assumed that Bahamut's reversion to Aether was the cause of the widespread changes to the realm, but if he is still here, then that theory no longer holds. What was it, then, that brought the realm's sudden regeneration? There's still so much we do not know about Cartnell. I haven't the slightest inkling to how deep this cavern runs, but we must continue. Oh, I think people are pulling ahead of me. Dragons? Does Bahamut call to other dragons? Oh, maybe he's the dragon's primal. Oop. Let me pull this one. Let them finish their cutscene first. Tread to guards of instant death. Oh. Yeah, I heard the flames on the outers are instant death. There is a mechanic to that. Stay out of the instant death. If she charges you, charge her, and during the final stages, stand in the nodes in the middle. The Binding Coil of Bahamut complete! One shot, oh my. Where's everybody? How do I leave? How doth thou exit? There it is. Just throws the chakrams. Alright, main bridge. Turn 5 is ended, but we're at the terminal. Some sort of terminal. All by myself. This contraption. It is used to control the saturation of Aether? I suppose there's only one way to find out. The dragon you vanquished earlier, somebody else vanquished, doubtless you noticed the peculiar contraption about its neck. It was likely a receptor of some description used to enslave the creature. Were dragons made slaves? Were primals made slaves? Ancient Allied possessed the mean to control the dragons, it would seem. The Asgardians would kill for this knowledge, though to be sure, it could as easily be brought to bear against them. An army of dragons could turn the tide of any battle, as the Garleans once learned to their sorrow. It would not be the least bit surprised if they now sought to exploit this power. Whatever their plans, this serves as another reminder of the might of the Alligans. One cannot help but wonder how so an advanced civilization came to fall. The moon, it still has power. But can't wake Bahamut. Bahamut cannot be part of this raid. He's too darn big. There's no way. This does look like Zohar-ish, though. To be fair, Xenogears was originally supposed to be a Final Fantasy game. Gods be good. Oh, it's his corpse. I mean, if they preserved the other parts, why not the head? This is Bahamut's head. How does it keep its form, though? This part doesn't appear to be crystal. Is it holding it in place? And that enormous crystal. It pulsates as if it were a heart. Then the primal that had awakened was Bahamut all this time. Did the primals have a form prior to becoming aether creatures? No, 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 this cannot be true. This would mean that grandfather died for naught. Confound it. We do not know enough to strike at it now. We must withdraw. Who is that? No, it can't be. Grandfather, is it truly you? Can't hear you, old man. Is he your ghost? Do we have ghosts? Who else is with him? Whose armor is that? No, don't leave me again, please. Is there a reason to keep Bahamut alive? Grandfather! I know. We could do no more for now. Are you sure? We can't, like, run towards him at all? Try and catch up to him? Hello? Game? Exit. I don't think I can go down there, can I? No, I can't. Okay. Is that it? Do we just get to see the head of Bahamut? But this looks like... Yeah, we're in northern Thanalan. How did we come to northern Thanalan of all places? Maybe this is some of the crystal that was inside of the moon. Oh, but such details matter little. I think they might matter greatly. Grandfather's alive. Bahamut did not defeat him. I'm not so sure about that. But why won't he return to us? I don't understand. This expedition has yielded more questions than it did answers. At any rate, we would both be better for a rest. Let us return to the waking sands and reflect upon what we have seen. Thank you. Without you, no one of this world... None of this would have been possible. None of this would have been possible without the people who carried me. Not until I get to be probably level 80 seems to be the sweet spot. Or if I had full level 70 gear as a tank. There we go. All done. Woo! At the Waking Sands. Okay, there is more. There is more. So let's not bork the stream just yet. Let's return to the Waking Sands. Which I could probably use one of these for. It's story. It's fine. Could probably shrink this back down. This is gonna be a fun one to edit. And like I said, I might come back later and see if there are, see if I can do it solo. Yeah, she is here. I'm pleased to see you again. I've already shared the fruits of our expedition with Urianger. Let us together ponder their implications. Full glad am I for thy safe return. Lady Alice hath appraised me of thy many experiences. As thou would doubtless be aware, Master Louisoix was my lady's grandsire. Gravely concerned was I for her safety, but 'twould seem I need not have been so. With all my heart, I do thank thee for watching over her. But come, thou must speak with Mistress Alice upon that which transpired within the Binding Coil. May it serve to bring us closer to the truth of the calamity. As one age endeth and another doth arise, do so our struggles wax and wane. What wouldst thou ask of me? About Bahamut, of course. Why can't I talk to her? Oh, there we go. Event cancelled. What? I think my internet booped. Shall we begin? Urianger, I understand you have a report of your own to share with us. Aye, my lady. Even as thou didst emerge from the depths, an etheric disturbance beckoning primal activity was observed. In Mordona it was marked first. By comparison of time and magnitude, we have since deduced its origin, the Cartano Flats. Strange. There have been no reports of primal activity in that region. It could only have been Bahamut. That would certainly explain how we came to be in northern Thanalan. Somehow, the cavern took us all the way from Vilprin to the heart of Aldenard. Excuse me. 'Twould seem so, my lady. It is all but certain, then. After Bahamut disappeared 5 years ago, he hid himself deep beneath Cartano, and has since lain dormant, regenerating. Aye, my lady. Taken together with thine own account of Bahamut's continued presence, the land's slowness to heal and the disorder of the etheric currents do point to one conclusion. Bahamut stirreth. If left unchecked, the primal shall drink of Eorzea's life force till he has doth waken to reign upon ruin the land. He's gonna eat all the aether and kill us! Rest assured, I do not mean to give up. Bahamut may yet still live, but so too does grandfather. Does he, though? For the past 5 years, he has been keeping vigil over his nemesis, making certain that the primal does not escape. Master Louisoix doth yet live? I durst not hope. And thou art certain 'twas no mere manifestation of thine all too sorely felt grief? I know how desperate this may sound, Urianger, but I saw him with my own 2 eyes, as did Bren. But he vanished deeper into the labyrinth before we had the chance to speak. With some other person in Garlean armor. 2 more, like fragments of Dalamud, pierced the earth when the lesser moon fell. One we have seen. If we can but find the other 2, I am certain that we will find grandfather as well. If thou so believest, my lady, then I too shall have faith. If it please you, I shall notify the grand companies of this development. All Eorzea must stand united if we to avert and repeat of the calamity. That will not be necessary, Urianger. Being the great consolator that he is, Alphino will seek to unite Eorzea of his own accord. If rumors are true, that endeavor is already well underway. It sure is. So let us leave the diplomacy to the diplomat, while we continue our investigation of Bahamut. That's another reason why I want to do this right now, because story-wise it only makes sense here. I swear to you, no matter what it takes, we will find my grandfather and uncover the whole truth of the calamity. Bren, you have heard me swear to do these things, but without your strength, I cannot hope to make good on my word. The danger to Eorzea is not past. For the sake of all who abide here, I pray that you will ever be our sword in the darkness. Quest complete. The truth is down there. It sure is. Another turn in the coil. A crystal choke abyss lieth beneath the Cartano flats, the unholy cradle of an elder primal. And by thy hand were truths great and terrible, wrestled from those once celestial depths. Yet as oft the case, an answer doth breed a profusion of questions, and the unknown doth beckon with irresistible allure. Never have the mysteries of the Red Moon laid so neatly within our grasp. Lady Alice hath sent word of her coming. 'Tis time once more to brave the precipice and leap, unflinching, into the jagged wound that doth gape beneath the land. I'd rather we take the elevator. It's a long way down. Honestly, I don't know how that alone crashing didn't cause, a full-blown apocalypse. That's how we got our moon on Earth. Mine apologies. I trust I have not kept you waiting over long. Bren, I'm both delighted and reassured to have you at my side once more. I would not waste your time with trivialities. Let us proceed directly to the discussion of that which we have learned, and that which we hope to learn anon. Initially, it was evidence of a new primal that led us to delve into the cavern beneath the Castrum Occadens, and to explore the subterranean scars left after the fall of Dalamud. As you will well recall, we found what was a vast, largely intact fragment of the fallen satellite, and within the depths of that structure, we discovered not the new primal we had expected, but the broken form of Bahamut himself. Yet even this great revelation will soon be overshadowed by the appearance of my own dear grandfather. I have since shared our sundry findings with the Rambaros, preeminent scholar of the son of Saint Cognac, and he in turn did kindly furnish me with his theory concerning the Elder Primal's Allegan prison. It would seem that Dalamud was constructed to gather unto itself the rays of the sun, and thence channel this radiant bounty onto the Crystal Tower. The ancients saw great potential in Bahamut's capacity to manipulate energies of otherwise unimaginable magnitude. 'Twas for this reason that they did bind him within the Red Moon to serve as its living core. Do you remember the sight that greeted us at the culmination of our journey? The colossal devices that surrounded us and seemed to cradle the incomplete form of the Elder Primal? From the information provided to us by the sons of Saint Cognac, we have learned of these contraptions were termed internment hulks, and that each bore the designation Ragnarok class. World-ending class. The purpose of these hulks is believed to be twofold. First, they are meant to act as binding coils, hence the name, rendering Bahamut incapable of escape. And second, they are meant to feed him. Preservedly, the self-same energy which prevents him from moving also serves to sustain his corporeal manifestation. That's why he hasn't disappeared. Bahamut is permitted neither to die nor to truly live. He is merely allowed to be. No wonder he's pissed. But why? Do we need to capture and hold a primal in order to have some sort of, energy capture for something else? Why otherwise imprison him? Because the energy we would get otherwise imprisoning him is, far surpasses anything that we can currently think of in this present patch. So there must be another purpose to keep him alive. For century upon century was the Elder Primal thus imprisoned, bound in fetters so subtle in their working, and yet so adamant, that through his cell be destroyed, Bahamut lieth yet at the mercy of his long-departed captors. It has long been held that the primals require the prayers of their faithful followers to exist, yet none alive worship Bahamut. Could it be, then, that the Algans found a way to simulate prayer itself? It seems the only logical explanation. I would postulate, therefore, that the regenerative mechanisms in question also supply something akin to the power of prayer. Land of the Lustrous? Anyone? Good manga, highly recommend. Consequently, if all of the internment hulks were to be rendered inactive, Bahamut should dissolve into the aether. Upon the evidence of thy previous foray, we determined that the Elder Primal is sustained by 3 such binding coils. Thus did we commence to scour the realm, and found in the Twelveswood an as yet unexplored fragment of the lesser moon bearing a most familiar etheric signature. And after conducting a preliminary investigation, we believe we have discovered a point from which the North Shroud fragment and the second of the internment hulks can be entered. As Eorzea's ward in the darkness, I would have you once more lead the charge. I will, of course, be there at your side. Once you have made your preparations, head to Fallgourd Float and make yourself known to my assistants, Serpent Lieutenant Anele. The fallen fragment is not far from the settlement, and her position provides a convenient rendezvous point. There's not going to be more duties, is there? I will break these Allagan fetters, for they bind my grandfather as surely as they bind Bahamut. What do you mean, quest accepted? At the Fallgourd Float, anything new from you? Nope. I don't think there's any more, because it didn't have any in the boss guide that I watched, that I ultimately did not need. Like I said, I'll go back and solo it eventually later. Grand Nightmare, I've been expecting you. My name is Enel. I have been according to the rank of lieutenant within the Order of the Twin Adder that I may better assist Lady Alice with her endeavors here in the Twelveswood. Such authority has allowed me to act without interference from the local soldiery and to conduct preliminary investigations of the Alder Springs fragment. From what we have seen of the exterior, the structure shares many common features with the one you explored in Lenosha, and likely plays host to a similar complement of guardians. But I fear words alone will do little to prepare you for what lies ahead. Pray seek out my comrade to the south and west. He is charged with observing all that occurs in the vicinity of the fragment, and will be well placed to show you a thing, if nothing less. Okay, where to? This way. Oh yeah, this is the fragment? I thought this was a ship. Maybe it is a ship. Where am I going? Down here. I am just all sorts of out of sorts today. Or is it down below? What business brings you to this broken land? Unless you fancy being ground to a bloody pulp under the granite fists of a wandering golem, I suggest you bugger off. Oh, my apologies. Lady Alice did send word of your impending arrival, but 'twould seem I'd grown rather too accustomed to shooing away curious sellswords and reckless explorers. Behold, if you will, one of the fallen shards of the Red Moon Dalamud. What is a shard? Our initial survey uncovered no evidence of the Empire's presence, which, while fortunate in itself, meant that the approach to the fragment had yet to be cleared. After much effort, however, we succeeded in carving out a semblance of a path, which should grant you access to the entrance, and that, I'm afraid, is where the progress ended. The interior? Well, assuming that the architecture of the hulk resembles the first, the master controls you seek will be located at the bottommost layer, past all the ingenious and deadly defenses of which the ancient Allagans seem so incently fond. I thought he was going to say indigenous creatures, sorry. If you would know more, I'm afraid there is nothing for it but to brave the depths of the fragment yourself. Lady Alice will soon be arriving at the Fallgourd. Pray do not tarry on your way back to the lieutenant's post. I imagine our young mistress will be most eager to commence the expedition. The road ahead promises peril aplenty, and I would humbly suggest that this is not the occasion to stint on preparation or provisions. May the 12 watch over you. Is it going to be a dungeon? They make it seem like I'm going to be heading in there. But I did the coils. I did all 5 coils. Are there going to be 6 coils? There's not going to be 10 coils, is there? Or maybe these quests are one for each? seemed like this would have appeared only after turn 5. Yeah, it says that this quest only appears after turn 5. Weird. Nightmare, I trust the private's explanation was worth the journey. Simply securing an approach to the fragment's entrance proved a monumental task. I dare not think what defeating its inner defenses will entail. If there is aught I might aid you... Lady Alice... Oh, my apologies, Master Alphino. Has there been a change of plan? Urianger informed me of the impending expedition. I merely came to exchange a few words with my fellow scion before they disappeared into the depths of the second coil. I've already been in the second coil. Bren, though I would strenuously deny it if she was present, my sister's admiration and affection for our grandsire exceeds even my own. Upon the matter of his legacy, therefore, Alice is wont to go above and beyond the call of duty. In our grandfather's absence, she has made the salvation of Eorzea her personal crusade. 'Twas that which prompted her to brave the perils of the first coil. Yet the fact that she risked her life in this manner is not the greatest of my concerns. No, it is her subsequent fixation on my grandfather's shade that worries me most. This quest to rid the world of Bahamut must not become a quest to save a man long dead. My sister must needs have a better reason to fight. A time will come when the fate of the realm sets upon our shoulders, and when it does, we must be strong in our resolve, and certain of the stakes for which we risk all. There is a wide difference between fighting for the good of Eorzea and fighting for the love of a man who died for the good of Eorzea. Alice must choose her own path. She cannot rely on grandfather to choose it for her, for he is gone. Unless they mean like a whole new coil set, which I hope not. I'm glad it is you with whom she makes this journey. If Alice is to discover a deeper purpose, then where better to find one than the side of Eorzea's greatest champion? 'Twas there that I found mine, after all. But 'tis past time I was gone. Fair fortune in your endeavors. Ah, Lieutenant Anel, was it? I would appreciate you making no mention of my presence here to my sister. Lady Alice is due to arrive at any moment. I shall abide in confident expedition of your triumphant return. Oh no. Oh no. What? 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 Hello? The second coil of Bahamut, of which there is 4. I see. With a party of other players. Oh no. Oh no. Well. We're going to have to do a thing again. Alright, so this should be out by the shroud. The one that's sort of in the distance. Dalamud's Shadow. Kind of Spyro feeling with the floating islands out here. Whoa! What in the dot hack? How strange. Why could we not see all this before? I suppose it's only to be expected that corrupted crystals should accompany a disturbance of this magnitude. After all, the fragment likely pierced the ground in a depth of many hundreds of yalms. The swirling aether leaking from the wound must wrap the very air, creating a veil that hides these formations from view. Well, it is not as if we expected this to be a straightforward task. Let us tread carefully, shall we? 'Tis imperative that we win through the depths of this structure and disable the mechanism that powers Bahamut's regeneration. Of course, if we should chance an encounter with my grandfather upon the way, I shall not let him go again, not while there is hope that he may yet be saved. Is this in like a time paradox or something? But mayhap we should put such thoughts from our minds until after we have successfully gained entrance to this place. That opening up ahead appears to be a suitable point of ingress. Alright, let's see if my companion has gone like way ahead of me. Oh my. My escort has left. They are very far ahead. Ooh, flower? Oh, chew. Which I'm assuming, yep, is going to get KO'd in one go. I'm slow. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get locked out at this rate. Very freaky looking Ochu. Don't recognize that one. Alright. Time to... Oop! They passed. I couldn't give them the stuff. Through the terminal. Alright. In we go. It's so mechanical in here. I guess the Elegans did build it. Is that the judge that I saw before? That armor. No, it cannot be. Be on your guard. Though it defiles all reason that he should live, I know of only one who wears such armor. He whom the Empire raised as high as the Black Wolf himself, the legatus of the 8th Legion. I speak of the madman who brought the Meteor Project to fruition. We face the White Raven, Nail von Darnus, harbinger of the 7th Umbral Era. Nail von Darnus. Ah, that was the name of the fool who perished upon the eve of the promised age of glory. It should be uttered within not be uttered within these hallowed halls. Out of love for his loyal servant, the one true deity named Nail Deus Darnus. The one true deity? Bahamut! He speaks of Bahamut! My companion must be moving in the background. Oh, Bahamut, thy name is as sweet to water as parched lips. How my heart swells at thy sacred touch. They maybe want Bahamut for themselves? This blessed sanctum is the domain of my God and his beloved children. Seek to defile its glory, and you will answer to me. Where did he even backflip to? Does it go down? Oh, that's not a wall. That's like an arena. But he would have gone down even farther than that. How is this possible? From what Alfino has told me, Nail was slain on the eve of the calamity. Whatever the truth of the matter, we must be on our guard. There can be no reasoning with the worshippers of a primal. Oh, he's like tempered. The outer coil. Oh, yee! Just a giant ad phase. And then boss. What is that in there? Is that the tail? Oh, it's a Lamia! It's probably gonna be killed by the time I get there. Wherever the heck it is. The Melusine. I think I've been turned to stone. I didn't realize. Normally that's in a, different spot. Normally you have to be in the orange to be petrified. I guess not here. Alright. Stuff. Oh, more orbs. We keep getting more and more yalms. As if it's one structure, but it's all connected somehow. I'm reminded of the passages beneath the Castrum Akadens. We must have traveled for quite some distance below the surface. More of the same tunnels. 12s be good. Surely they cannot continue all the way down from the upper floors. 'Tis difficult to see inside, but I have a terrible feeling those corridors house more of the dreadful guardians you may have already faced. It is said that the Alligans excelled in the creation of the chimerical beasts, and that the Red Moon teemed with the thousands of fantastical monstrosities, all to prevent the enemies of an ancient empire from releasing the Elder Primal. I wonder, the creatures that prowl these halls, could they be the beloved children of which Nell spoke? Well, this is yet another mystery to ponder upon our return. Shall we continue onwards? Indeed. Ooh, is this something? Oh! Whee! Oh, I think I got insta-killed. More Final Fantasy XIII stuff. Maybe it can't catch up to us if we're fast enough. Oh yeah, ads everywhere. Whee! I guess we're just running. Oh, and now they're dead. Because blue mages. Oh god. Hope I don't die in the cutscene. What is that? Reminds me of the one Ultimate Beast Pokemon. The Avatar. Why is it targeting? Oh, I'm like stuck. Ooh. Okay. Once again, with feeling and way more people. Oh my gosh. It's a Lala festival. Okay. Ready. Yeah, that'll do it. Just need a little DPS flavor in there. Oh. Hollow charts. Oh wow, clouds. Whoa. Are we above it? Did it launch us out the top? Or is this something else? I feel like space-time isn't... Oh, now I definitely know space-time ain't right here. That's Dalamud in the sky. I wonder why they do these in parts. I feel like it should be one big dungeon. That surely cannot be Dalamud. How? Where are we? The final resting place of Nail von Darnus. This is a grave for the undeserving. And for the crime of trespassing upon my god's sanctuary, this place shall serve as your grave too. I'm assuming he means Bahamut. He's been tempered by Bahamut. No! Oh, is she a summoner? Oh, it's a woman. In the hour of his failure, Nail von Darnus felt his currents of aether begin to bear away his essence. But before oblivion could claim the last of him, a divine will reached out, and I was born. Then did the words of my god resound in mine ears. Bring unto mine enemies crushing defeat, that they may know despair without end, and claim thee thus the victory of which thou were once denied. Wings? Or something. Is that Bahamut's attack that he does? Or did you turn yourself into a sort of Bahamut? It would seem that little remained of Nail's essence when Bahamut plucked him from the brink of oblivion. Oh, it is a man, never mind. And the result was a strange simulacrum. Nevertheless, her aura bespeaks great power. She channels the rage of the Elder Primal herself. Or her, sorry. Lord Bahamut, thy wish is my command. None shall escape thine unquenchable fury. Come, ye dull, unthinking beasts, bare your teeth. But here think feel. They will avail you not in the calamity to come. I don't know, my dyslexia is getting to me, and also other people are probably waiting for me behind the scenes. Oh, hey! I recognize that! That's from the Manderville quests. So, how'd you get that? Probably because he shot it to the moon. Glad they learned not to put the lengthy cutscene in the duty, right? Oops. But still, one shot and there they go. I feel like they say since they learned, it means they used to do that. Oh, hologram! He was in a hologram! We got Utanud! The second Coil of Bahamut is now complete! That's a real mega flare! There are no party members. Oh right, they're outside. I guess this is all for me then, even though I offered up stuff for free. But who are you? I'm assuming you were a major protagonist maybe of 1.0, but just like all the other characters of 1.0, I have no memory of you. Poor creature. Would that you had never been born. That's rude, Elise. You had surrendered your physical form and collapsed into Aether, but Bahamut denied you death, and imprisoned what little was left of you in an ethereal shell resembling what, I wonder? Images from your memory, perhaps? But that shell is now broken, and your primal deity seems disinclined to sustain your existence. My primal deity? I kneel to no icon. What need have I to beg the favor of such filth? I am Nail von Darnus, legatus of the 8th Legion. No, a moment. My thoughts are clouded, and this body is not mine own. Could it be that you spoke the truth? Was I enscrawled by the Lesser Moon's ancient prisoner? Was that will not happen again. You speak as if Bahamut no longer controlled you, but that's impossible. Once a primal ensnares a mind, it cannot be freed. Unless Bahamut simply relinquished his claim. Which need has he of a broken spirit bond for an ethereal realm? They can do that? Oh, that I should fall prey to the very influence I sought to purge from the land. The irony is galling. But do not assume that all of my actions were chosen for me. It was my will that the Meteor Project be resurrected. Mine and none other. Yet it seems that my grand designs were destined to fail. Even the ungentle release of death was denied me. Nail, please, you must tell us more of the calamity. I must know the truth of what has befallen the world. And what has become of my grandfather, Archon Louis Sois? You're Louis Sois' grandchild. Oh, the fates are generous with their cruelty. Continue on. You would have your answers. They await you at the terminus of your path. But know that this path leads only to despair. The light of truth was ever harsh and unforgiving. I kind of agree with her then, though. To get rid of that sort of influence? Why do you say this? Grandfather will be freed once we put a stop to Bahamut's resurrection, will he not? What are you not telling us? Steel yourself, child. Only unbending resolve and merciless strength can conquer what lies ahead. The weak can do naught but weep under the pall of their own misery, as did the frail child I once was. Oh, what? Hello? Did something from the Algans murder her? Silence, chattering raven. Your wretched wings are broken, and you shall soar no more. My crimson moon, your brilliance sears my eyes. What hit her? Unless she herself was also part of the illusion, and that was a part of it too. Hello? I recognize that voice, but never would he say such words. Come, let us finish what we came to do. All will be put aright when the final hulk lies dormant. Grandfather will be himself again. I'm sure of it. Is he the one who threw that spear of light? She got Nibelung Valestied. I feel like there's more of it now. Bahamut regenerates more swiftly than I had anticipated. Let us hope that disabling the coils will serve to slow the process. The display seems different, but the controls appear to mimic the mechanism we found at the Lenosian Hulk. It shouldn't pose a problem. Bren, forgive me. The moment I beheld Nail's transformation, hope wilted in my heart. I did not believe you could stand against the manifestation of Bahamut's power. All for your fabled strength and skill, it felt certain that it was going to lose you, just as I lost my grandfather. Even he, a man for whom naught seemed impossible, was humbled before Bahamut's might. I mean, he is a god, and a big one at that. And yet, look how far we have come. 'Tis incredible the feats which we are capable, our boundless potential. 'Twas this capacity for greatness, I believe, that grandfather so dearly wished to protect. With all that has occurred, I have come to understand that much at least. But if those other apparitions are here, couldn't they just turn it back on? 'Tis done. Shall we make our way back to the surface and gather our thoughts? We have seen much that will benefit from Urianger's learned perspective. Yeah, he's not himself. Could he possibly be tempered? Because of Bahamut. Grandfather, it is you. Then why? Abandon this quest, Alice. I will not countenance further sabotage of the coils. Sabotage? But we must disable the coils if we are to prevent Bahamut's revival. Your defiance seals your fate. have shields. I will use them. No, you are not who I thought you were. My grandfather would never. Foolish girl. How could the White Raven allow herself to be betrayed by such sniveling opponents? Listen well. We all exist at the pleasure of one divine will. And the word of Lord Bahamut is absolute. Oh yeah, he tempered. Scurry back to your holes, vermin. You have been granted this one reprieve. But should you be so foolish to crawl into my lord's domain again, I will crush the life of you myself. That light in grandfather's eyes. He has suffered the same fate as Nail. My grandsire is no more. That was naught but a phantom that profanes his noble memory. This mockery must be expunged. I will not rest until I free grandfather's soul from Bahamut's tyranny. But what's Bahamut's goal? Do you hear me, Bahamut? Your time is at an end. Eorzea and my family will be avenged. Because the other Titans all seem to have a goal. But him? He different. Exit the coil. Alright, let's talk to Alice. Alice's resolve. Truly it's wonderful to escape that stifling air, and return to northern Thanalan again, it would appear. I must ask you, Bren, were it not for your bravery, I strongly doubt that I would be standing here now. But you need not tarry on my account. The danger is past. Pray go on ahead, and appraise Urianger of all that has occurred. I will join anon. My thoughts are yet unruly, and I would rest here a while. Yeah, I bet. Okay, to the Waking Sands. I can use my letters. Let's use these up. Since especially now that we are in Mordona. We are located in Mordona. We have moved house. And if all else fails too, you know. I can just ride my chocobo to the western Waking Sands. Now that we have a chocobo especially. The triumphant hero doth return. Thine eyes speak of the dread's task's completion. The second coil now lieth dormant. Yet I sense the tidings thou bearest are not altogether glad. Pray tell me, what ill hath cast the shadow which hath fallen now across thy brow? An old foe and an old friend. So 'twas but the ethereal shadow of Master Louisoix that Lady Alice behold, an unnatural conjuration in thrall to the elder primal. That the fiend should deign to choose him of all men, even in full knowledge of the shade's true nature, I would be hard-pressed to weather such a confrontation. Yet what agonies must the young mistress have endured! Such torment did she never deserve. Mayhap 'twere better if Lady Alice did absent herself from future forays into the coils. But we can't let the dragon wake up, man. I've come too far to surrender to grief, Urianger. Eorzea still needs me. My lady. I am resolved to defeat these fiends, and naught shall sway me from my path. Now let us peer more deeply into the well of our discoveries. As you wish, my lady. By your leave, I would speak first to the coil's late guardian, Nail von Darnus. Von Darnus was a legatus of the Garlean Empire who strove to bring about Eorzea's final destruction, only to fall even as the sixth sun set. If thou hast heard the tale of the White Raven, then it is of he whom they speak. Aye, he. I say, for Nael was for certainly no maid. I mean, what do you mean by that? Were they non-binary? What do you... The noble house of Von Darnus, as we discovered all too late, had long safeguarded the wisdom of ancient Allag. 'Twas thus that the legatus come to learn the true nature of Dalamud, and to seek to employ the Red Moon as the weapon against Eorzea. But the crystal tower and the mechanisms required to command the satellite yet lay hidden beneath the ground, compelling Nael to construct a far less subtle mechanism. And in his first faltering attempts to communicate with Dalamud, he likely did rouse the satellite's slumbering prisoner. Thenceforth did the White Raven's soul belong to Bahamut. He was fortunate indeed to acquire so powerful a thrall by chance. 'Twas little wonder that he was so loath to part with him. Why let a simple thing like death deprive one of so useful a pawn? Though we may accuse him of bungling Von Darnus's resurrection, I dare say Bahamut was as content to have a handmaiden as a manservant. I only hope that the two thralls were encountered were the extent of his flock. Yet I cannot help but dwell on Nael's words, those beloved children of whom he spoke. I assumed at first that he referred to the moon's beastly guardians, but should Bahamut have enslaved other mortals, we must needs remove his source of worship. Otherwise our efforts to disable the coil shall be for naught. Forgive me mine indelicacy, my lady. Thou art wise indeed to speak of expunging the primal's thralls, but canst thou truly peruse a course for which one would cost thee thine own grandsire? He's not really living anymore, unfortunately, Urianger. My heart and mind are on this same matter. Grandfather's salvation can be won but by a single method, the destruction of Bahamut, and aught that might serve to sustain him. Bren, while Urianger and I endeavor to ascertain the existence of any further thralls, I suggest you grant yourself a moment's respite. Rest assured that I will contact you the moment I have need of your indemnitable talents. That we have achieved so much I owe you. I fear, however, that our trials have truly begun. Though time hath dulled the pain of thy passing, I find that I am wounded afresh. Master Louisoix, what good shall come of this unending search for knowledge and truth? Long have I believed the pursuit of such treasures to be the duty of every true Charlian. Yet when each new resolution serveth only to heap further anguish upon those whom would fain protect, must we truly reach for more. So, you found your resolve, dear sister. Oh wait, that's the brother. My bad, I thought it was Alice itself. No, they both start with A's. Will you now find a use for the secret, for the key that only you and I hold? What key? Given our familiar prosperity for curiosity, you would do well to remember that the keys may serve to seal doors as well as unlock them, and Bahamut is a most unwelcome guest, to whom the door should never have been opened. Key, what key? You can handle the truth. Yeah, it's one of my least favorite phrases. You can't handle the truth. I've been told that by so many abusive assholes. Anyway, fragments of the truth. Man is wont to cast light wherever his secrets lie hid in darkness, though that which illuminateth seldom bringeth him joy. So it is with such unhappy truths as Bahamut's immense shadow doth conceal. Yet ever onward forgetteth Mistress Alice, undeterred by the burden of knowledge that weigheth heavily on her heart. 'Tis a perilous path she hath chosen, and a painful one. I prithee, Bren, remain by her side as a valiant blade, that she might see her quest to its conclusion. Bren, it is well that you are here. My lady, how might I serve you this day? I have met with some difficulty in my mission, Urianger, and I should be grateful for your counsel. As you know, Bahamut's physical form is regenerating beneath the Cartano Flats even as we speak. If we are to prevent his return, we must needs disable the 2 remaining internment hulks that sustain him. Every moment our mission is delayed, the realm is pushed closer to the brink of destruction. Alas, though I have determined the locations of the fragments of Dalamud leading to the hulks, I have been unable to find a way to enter them. Your brother said something about keys. And gaining admittance is but the first step in your perilous undertaking. When last thou descended into Bahamut's subterranean fastness, thou didst discover, didst thou not, that the dread primal had bound the shade of Nail von Darnus unto his will. And though thou didst consign the fallen legatus to blessed oblivion, thou mayest recall the piteous wretch was not alone. Doubt none but that Bahamut's other thralls shall seek to hinder thy passage. You can say his name, Urianger. I have not forgotten that my grandfather is waiting for us. My lady, I would remind you, as I must oft remind myself, that the man whom we both loved and revered is no more. What remaineth is but a shade which defileth his memory. The vile verbiage that spill from his lips must not be heeded, for it cometh not from your grandsire, but from Bahamut himself. You need not worry, Urianger. Come what may, I will not stray from the course. I will not let my grandfather's sacrifice be in vain. But mere words will not take us wherever we must go. As I said, I have been unable to find a way to enter the fragments of Dalamud. My lady, might I suggest that you visit the fragments again in Bren's company? Full oft hath the Warrior of Light set events in motion by virtue of their presence alone. 'Tis possible that they may do so again. I, the while, shall search for answers of my own. By our efforts combined, full sure am I that the path shall be revealed to us ere long. Were it anyone else, I would question the wisdom of such advice, yet I cannot deny what you say about Bren is true. Very well, I shall do as you suggest. Assuming you have no objections, of course. Good. Now we seek entry to 2 fragments of Dalamud. One lies at the Burning Wall in eastern Thanalan, and the other at the Singing Shards in Mordona. I left an assistant in each location with instructions to continue searching for the means of ingress. It is not impossible that they should since have found something useful to us. Let us begin by visiting my man at the Burning Wall. Dex, I think it was. Quest accepted. Let's go. Yeah, party disbanded for now just because I still have to do all these other in-betweens. I know there's going to be one more now. I looked it up. Although some did say that within the hour that they would be here, so fingers crossed. Hopefully I can get all of these unlocked and they don't have me, like, run several dungeons and then run across while my party waits for me to do the other ones. I say, are you not the Nightmare, my lady's most faithful companion? Sinus at your service, and may I say what an honor it is to meet you. How goes the survey, Dex? My lady, it shames me to say that I have found no visible path to the fragment. Though it stands there before our very eyes, the way thither has thus far proven impassable. When the fragment fell and pierced the land, it caused a prodigious amount of aether to spew forth. Oh, that's what these crystals are. 'Twas this that gave rise to the land's twisted lay, which seems destined to thwart our efforts. We could maybe ride there? Even if an opening were to exist, I fear that we would struggle to reach it. We cannot give up. Keep trying. So near and yet so far. Well, it avails us not to stand here and stare at the thing. Let us away to Mordona, and try the other fragment. Perhaps Sinus has fared better. Upon that note, my lady, there is something I must tell you. I'm sorry to report that I lost contact with my brother just over a bell ago. As you know, the Singing Shards are home to many fell creatures, ogres among them. While I do not wish to cause you undue alarm, I feel something unspeakable may have happened to Dex. What? Why didn't you... Oh, give me strength. We must hurry to my assistant's aid. So are these like your house servants? Your butlers? The singing shards are home to a host of fell creatures, ogres among them. If it would not be too much trouble, I should be most grateful if you would find my brother and keep my lady safe. To Madonna. Oh, I'm nervous. Yeah, these binding coils. Interesting that one of the bosses, now that I have time to speak on it, it insta-killed you for killing it too quickly? What is that about? Obviously we can kill it prior to it launching off the missiles if we're like level 90, but... weird mechanic nonetheless. You're performing too well. Die. Alright, where are you? Hey bro, yo, you good? Thank you, adventurer. For a moment there I feared my bones were to be ground up and used to bake bread. I'm relieved to see that you are unharmed. It was wrong of me to press such a dangerous task upon you. My lady, your worries are wasted on me. 'Twas nothing at all, I assure you. If it pleases you, I shall report on my findings. As you can see, through the tip of the fragment is exposed. The rest is encased in rock and crystal, rendering it impossible to enter the structure. We might try excavating the area around the fragment, but that is likely to take time, and there really is no telling how deep we may need to dig before we find a suitable point of ingress. Yeah, I probably got buried into the dirt, the door. As such, I'm forced to conclude that gaining entry to this fragment is unrealistic. Forgive me, my lady. Confound it, we're losing precious time. What do we do now? 'Tis I, Urianger. Glad tidings I have for thee and my lady. For a blessing, a way hath been found by which thou mayest enter the remaining fragments of Dalamud. Pray escort Mistress Alice to the Ceruleum processing plant in northern Thanalan. There all shall be made clear. Urianger has found a way. Then we must go to him at once. Maybe we teleport in. Same as we've done for some of the other primals. We attune to their crystals and use it against them. Because I think we did that with Titan when we burrowed into his hole. I have to attune to the other crystals in order to get to the extremes. I'll probably end up doing those by my own too once I'm high enough level. But that would be a ways off. Like I said, I'll come back to this eventually and do the dungeon solo for you guys. Just to prove I'm worthy of viewing the cutscenes, I suppose. I'll be the one single target hitting things. Mine apologies for summoning you thus far from afar, my lady, but 'tis here that your journey may finally begin. I did wonder. To my knowledge, there are no fragments in northern Thanalan. Nowhere you was mistaken, my lady, yet a pathway doth exist, one which you yourself had made use of in the past. At the conclusion of your several forays into the Binding Coil, 'twas at the crystal formation which lieth to the north of the place that you did emerge, was it not? Yes, an ethereal stream bore us back to the surface. That much I had surmised. Are you suggesting that we can use it to return underground? And even if that were possible, would it not simply bear us back to those places which we have already explored? It need not, my lady. Please allow me to explain. Upon the evidence of your experience, it seems plain that those two intermittent hulks may share the selfsame ethereal egress. From this we may infer that we may be connected in the wise. Thus did we labor long to verify the existence of further tributaries to the selfsame stream. In other words, it forks. In which task we were at length successful. 'Twas then but a matter of arriving at a solution to the problem of traveling to an unattuned destination. That one might reach what we may call the headwater, we propose to employ a modified aetherite, which serveth to amplify such ripples as do originate from said source. By focusing one's essence upon these ripples, it should be possible to make the journey. Yet be fairly warned, my lady, as with all untried modes of ethereal travel, this method entaileth considerable danger. Merely to attempt the voyage could cost your life.
That is a risk I'm willing to take. You're brilliant, Urianger.
And we'll probably never use it in story purposes again.
But I'm curious, did you have assistance for forming this plan? I could not help but noticing you repeated the use of the word we, unless you have taken to using majestic plural in our absence.
No, my lady. As you have correctly surmised, I was not alone in this endeavor.
Meaning there are others who are aware of our mission.
He has been sworn to silence.
Well, it cannot be helped now. Preventing Bahamut's return is what matters. If some secrecy must be sacrificed to achieve our goal, then so be it.
Can she really not put two and two together that it's probably her brother? Alright, what is the beef with you two? Is it just typical sibling rivalry? Like, they don't seem to get along, like they never want to be in each other's presence. Yet at the same time they care for each other and I am confused. It was very not my wish to withhold knowledge of the aid I received. I praise that Mistress Alice will forgive me when she learneth of its source. Oh, it's the little mini ones, like what we have in town.
So that must be the modified aetherite. But what of the immortal flames doing here?
Those men may be sworn flames of Ul'dah, but they are first and foremost faithful retainers of House Levelure. That's one way to find out.
Alphino, so it was you who was helping Urianger.
Who else it could have been, dear sister? Lest you worry, I have no intention of making the details of your venture public. Like you, I would prefer to avoid causing a panic. But given that which is at stake, namely the survival of the realm, one must be willing to accept help when it is offered. Would you not agree? Well, considering what I need to do to even finish these in a realm reborn, yeah! At very least, do not be cross with Urianger. 'Twas at my behest that he kept silent.
We will speak later.
Pray forgive me, my lady, but knowing full well your intent, I judged it meant to meet that Master Alphino be informed. Though your grandsire hath become a Bahamut's thrall, his noble blood courseth through both your veins, and if he must needs be struck down— Wait, royal blood? Are you, like, actually royal, or was he just important?
Do you hear that, Alphino? I mean to strike down grandfather, and when I have done so, I shall banish Bahamut to the Aether. Nothing you say will sway me from my course. I will protect Eorzea, and I will uphold grandfather's legacy.
Grandfather's legacy? Do you still not know what you yourself desire? Your actions are still driven by borrowed resolve.
Borrowed resolve? What does that have to do with anything? Protecting Eorzea was grandfather's goal, and we made it ours, both of ours. That is why we came here, unless you have forgotten.
Gods forbid I should ever forget, Alice. But you misunderstand. I do not question your resolve, only whence it came. If it were your own, you would be able to tell me precisely why you desire so fervently to protect Eorzea. Yet you cannot, for it is not your resolve, but grandfather's. You may struggle to see the difference, but borrowed resolve shall never be as strong as that which sprang from within. But let us speak of another time. For now, preventing Bahamut's return is all that matters. To be plain, I have no objection to striking down whatever is left of grandfather. Know, however, that I will be accompanying you this time. As a son of House Levelure, I would be present for his final moments. Are they, like, just a noble family, or, like, actual, like, prince and princess?
Very well. You may join us. On one condition. I make the decisions.
And to what kingdom? And is it still standing?
If it please, my lady, my name is Erkenrod. Our preparations are just about complete. When you're ready to embark on your mission, please give me the word. I'll be waiting for you at the cerulean processing plant. Pay no heed to my brother. You can rely on me. We've come far together, you and together we shall see our journey to its end.
I've been waiting for you.
I'm pleased to say that the Aetherites primed and ready. As you know, the remaining internment hulks are connected to the fragments in Eastern Thinland and Mordona. It's to the former that we'll be sending you first. Now you'll be starting inside the hulk, meaning you won't have you won't have to cover so much ground. The drawback being that you'll be fighting for your life from the moment you get there. Best be prepared for anything, for my lady's sake, if not your own. And that's about all I can tell you. When your preparations are in order, just give me the word, and I'll send you on your way. I may even throw in a prayer for your speedy return just to be on the safe side.
That sounds strangely snarky. The final coil is now accessible. Alright. Time to do the party thing and, party.
Spiky.
What are these? What is any of this? Oh, I feel like I'm on an alien spaceship. Will technology make no sense?
So this is how it looks on the inside. This internment hulk still functions. The teleportation was a success. We've come to the right place. There's no telling how much farther Bahamut has regenerated since we last beheld him. Let us make haste to the main bridge and deactivate the coil. There are receptacles similar to those of the previous hulk. Those held chimerical beasts, but only the Alligans knew what other abominations may be sleeping within.
They hold, excuse me, what in the Genova?
They may well be part of Dalamud's internal defenses. We must stay on our guard at all times.
What even job class are you two? Mages, I assume. Oh, these I do not recognize. Dark matter slimes. Bioweapons Sector 7. Very funny. Yeah, it is meant to be a little bit of a Final Fantasy VII reference, I think. Ooh, what is that noise? Oh, they're dragons! It has dragons in the tubes. But are they like Kurthus dragons? Or something else? Weird coral. Really weird coral. Him to good. This one I'm not familiar with. Should I be, like, worried about this? Okay, we're good, we're good. Dragon Kitty. Natural or artificial? Oh, very my. Alright. Passing the treasure. Twas the agreement. By the 12 dragons, and so many. Gosh, no wonder all the Ishgardian dragons are pissed. We're well aware that the Allagans possess the means to control the creatures, but to imprison them thus is barbaric. I would not wish such a fate upon my worst enemy. 'Tis plain that no love was lost between the Allagans and the dragons, but was it truly necessary to keep so great a number here? Dalamud did not want for defenses. This we have experienced firsthand. Such guardians as the Allagans created, both living and unliving, were surely no less capable of repelling intruders than these poor creatures. Maybe this is why Bahamut was summoned. Tell me something, Alice. Have you not managed to determine by whose will Bahamut exists? No, I have not. At first I assumed that Bahamut had no people of his own, that the Allagans had perished, discovered a way to simulate prayer itself. However, Nail's word gave me cause to reconsider, specifically the shades mentioned of Bahamut's beloved children. From that I inferred that the primal is given form by the will of worshippers, who we have yet to... honey, look up. Oh. God strike me down for a blind fool. Bahamut's beloved children, right there before my very eyes. How could I have been so stupid? Who else but the dragons of Eld would summit Bahamut? Who else but they could sustain him? And to think I wondered why the Allagans kept them imprisoned here. Even should the flame of Bahamut's life go out, his faithful children would summon him back. For this reason, the Allagan Empire kept an army of dragons here in a perpetual state of duress, that they might sustain the primal's existence. Do we have to turn off their life support? Truly, the Allagans' ingenuity knew no bounds, and neither did their cruelty. Because they're probably also, tempered, so... yeah, there's probably no going back. Small wonder that Bahamut was so enraged. Let no one deny that it was man who sowed the seeds of the calamity. Would you now turn your hatred towards your own kind, dear sister? Do not patronize me, Alphino. I merely acknowledge our guilt. Lest you be in any doubt, I have no intention of allowing Bahamut to lay the world to waste. Regardless of the atrocities the Allagans committed against his kind, we have no choice but to eliminate all who worship him, be they his children or his thralls. It seems reasonable to assume that the system responsible for the primal's regeneration is also responsible for sustaining the captive dragons. If we disable it, all should perish. Let us press on. Yeah, that sucks, man. Oof. I feel for them Kurthus dragons. Moon within a moon? Regeneration grid. another hologram. I'm just gonna take this person's word for it. Lead the way, good sir. Okay, what are these? They remind me of cocoons. I don't recognize them from Final Fantasy XIII, though I could see them as being a pun. Spinner rock. Is this like a thing? Oh, I see. We just gotta stand on it until it deactivates. Getting the sad operas going. Of course, now actually gives me Xenoblade vibes, if you know, you know. Maybe it goes faster with more people. I have no clue. I feel like something is stuck here, but... Oh! It comes to us! Oh! I see! Forgot we have to go separate paths. Oh. To be fair, one might be activated now. He says we have to go separate paths. He'll go right. Guess that means I go left. I think we went left? I see balls. Yeah, mine is still activated. I can see him over there, though. assuming this one. Oh. I think we have to... I'm dumb. Three-headed dragon. Oh, hello. Oh, these are new. No, come here. Oh god. I'm going counterclockwise, aren't I? And now I am dead and useless. I almost exited out of the cutscene. That would have been bad. That was my one purpose here. Return to the starting point. I will go this way. Oh, you didn't have to do that! Pass. Maybe Phoenix Stones are easier to get. I didn't mean for him to use one on me. I was teleporting. It just takes a second. Why, this looks like a model of Dalamud, yes. For millennia, Bahamut must have gazed at this unchanging view. Trapped inside a prison that was scarcely large enough to contain him, unable to move, denied the release of death, how his hatred for man must have burned. And that hatred found an ideal vessel in Nail von Darnus. In many ways, Bahamut is to be pitied, not loathed. But knowing the true extent of his fury, I am more convinced than ever that the necessity of our endeavor. Besides, his is not the only soul that cries out for vengeance.
Gods, he is almost whole again.
He's got the whole upper torso. What are those things on his shoulders?
His size is staggering. I can scarce imagine how Grandfather stood against such a monstrosity.
This cannot be allowed to proceed any further. Let us disable the coil and move on.
Finally, voice acting.
No, that man is dead. I will not dishonor my beloved grandsire's memory by calling you such. You are but his twisted shape, the thrall of a mad primal.
You were foolish to disregard my warning, child. Are you so convinced of your own righteousness?
"'Tis the rightness of our path that led us to return. Eorzea will never be safe whilst Bahamut remains to threaten all we hold dear. What of the hero who gave his life in defense of the realm? Do you truly dispute the justice of our cause?"
My poor, ignorant grandchildren. Your world is shaped by naught but recent conflict. Listen, and I will speak to you of justice. 'Twas in the twilight of the Third Astral Era. The southern land of Mericidia suffered invasion at the hands of the Alagon Empire. With no atrocity, too depraved for their purpose, the forces of Alec were unstoppable in their advance.
I don't even know that city. Maybe it's from another Final Fantasy.
Desperate for salvation, the dragons prayed to one of their first brood, to their ancestor Bahamut. Infused by the power of their fervent supplications, Bahamut arose from the abyss of death and took wing as the Mericidians' newborn god.
Are the Mericidians dragons?
Yet this great miracle would only serve to further the maniacal designs of the dragon's imperial conquerors. The cruel fetters which bind my lord stand testament to the Alagon's boundless greed and hubris. I once summoned the 12 in an attempt to forestall the advent of the 7th Umbral Era. What then did the dragons of Mericidia do that I did not? Wherefore are they accursed and I exalted?
His history sucks, man.
Overweening belief in his own primacy that blinds him to the commonness of his condition and the truth of his own tyranny. As long as man is suffered to remain, the dragons shall never be at peace. Only when the plague of people has been expunged shall the children of Lord Bahamut be free. Then shall the world know true justice.
Stop it! Grandfather would never say such things. His belief that people were worth saving never faltered. He had faith in their strength, that they could stand together and push back against the darkness seeking to shape them.
A false hope. 'Tis folly to place one's faith in so flawed a race. Stand together? Huh. They would first need to agree on which direction to face. If history teaches us anything, it is that man cannot find common ground between his own 2 feet. Even you, twins, whose veins run with the same blood, struggle to fathom each other's reasoning. You hide your differing agendas behind the convenient banner of Eorzea's salvation. Given your obvious self-interest, can you truly claim no kinship with the Alagon?
Now I'm getting called out.
And though I hope they might bring you closer, 'twould seem that the twin grimoires I bestowed upon you were a wasted gesture.
So that's what those are. I was curious. They looked like gunblades from
There may
13.
well be truth in your judgment of Alize and me, but such a one-sided tirade bemoaning the evils of man rings false, coming from the lips of Archon Louisoix. Tell me, do you champion the cause of dragons because Bahamut compels you as his thrall? Or is it because you yourself have transcended the limits of man's existence?
Ah, so the possibility did not escape your notice. What I prayed for, and what I have become. These are the keys that unlock the truth behind Eorzea's rebirth.
Did he become the Aether?
If you would have them, then you must needs take them by force. Come, rend this divine form asunder and claim your answers.
Hey! I recognize you! Phoenix.
But I thought... No. He has become a primal?
It is difficult, I know, but you must accept it. That entity is no phantom or imposter. It is our beloved grandsire.
So a primal's trying to resurrect another primal?
Please, for his sake and for ours, you must defeat our grandfather.
That's what I do. Primal Slayer. I was not expecting Phoenix. Why does attention keep getting drawn? What is that? Whoa! Right as it emerges. I don't know if yeah, it says invulnerable. Keep getting bigger. Maybe it's starting as a chick and going into full-fledged Phoenix. Just to try and prevent me from dying, maybe. But is Phoenix a new primal? An old one? I'm left with more questions. Whee!
Grandfather is truly gone this time. But better it end this way than the alternative.
True. Also, we need to stop that thing from regenerating and killing us all.
I am yet here, Alice, my dear, sweet granddaughter.
Did we not kill it?
Grandfather?
Or does he think if he plays sweet, he can manipulate us? I don't know what to trust anymore.
I must thank you, warrior of light. Without your valor, I might never have broken free of Bahamut's control. These last few moments are mine, to live as the man I once was.
This is all that I wanted. Yet, now that it is happening, I find myself struggling to believe it. Is it really you?
Grandfather, pray forgive me my insolence. It was not my intent to demean you.
Forgive you? I am proud of you, child. You were wise enough to deduce the manner of creature I had become. Alfino, Alize, if any here should beg forgiveness, it is I.
But how is this happening?
Grandfather, I must ask, will you not tell us what befell during the calamity?
Yes, yes, of course. You have come far to hear the truth. Let us then begin the tale at the Battle of Cartano, where clashed the forces of the Garlean Empire and the Eorzean Alliance. 'Twas there in the sky above the surging armies that the elder primal Bahamut broke free of the Red Moon Dalamut. In an effort to contain this avatar of destruction, I called upon the 12 to aid me in the creation of a prison of ether. But Bahamut would not be caged by such feeble bars. Too vast was his might, too fierce his rage. Little choice remained to me. I used the last of my strength to entrust our hope unto the future, and prepared to meet my end.
Thought you got wiped out in the blast, though. Or are those the 12? They look like crystal. Are they crystals? Are they just cores? Crystal cores? Are the 12 just crystal cores of the mother crystal? No wonder all the enemies look like Final Fantasy XIII. This is one big reference. Still rained a ton of destruction, though. And how'd we get his butt back in the shards? And how'd you get tempered?
As you have no doubt surmised, I did not perish. When the cage built from the essences of the 12 was destroyed, the sky was filled with a colossal cloud of ether. This drifting energy responded to the prayers of those fighting below, and to my own desperate wish that the dying realm be saved by infusing me with the power of a primal.
So anybody prays hard enough, anybody can become a primal?
I became the immortal phoenix, ancient symbol of rebirth. Rising into the sky, I struck Bahamut with all my newfound strength. The blow shattered his earthly form, and a shower of ether rained down upon the land. Thus began the rejuvenation of Eorzea. Believing the deed done, I relinquished my hold on that staggering energy, desirous that it should be returned to the realm without delay. But I had not reckoned on Bahamut's tenacious will. Even as he teetered upon the cusp of oblivion, the dragon reached out to claim me.
But can a primal claim a primal?
Alas, within my fast fading form, enough remained of the Phoenix's energy to offer Bahamut a hold, and he dragged me along in his wake.
And thus began your existence as the Elder Primal's thrall.
I cannot help but wonder at his will to survive. Though he was all but obliterated, Bahamut found a way to seize the power you surrendered. That would explain why part of his physical form survived to be entombed underground.
It would also explain why Eorzea was so terribly warped. Even as the land sought to restore itself, the returning flow of ether was cut off.
Very good. When his grip on existence was once again secured, Bahamut did not cease his feast until he had consumed every last mote of ether that yet floated in the air.
And still he was not fully restored.
You must remember that by this time, much of the freed ether had already returned to the land. That which remained was not sufficient to reconstruct so massive a form in its entirety.
The other ones can do mini forms, why couldn't he?
But there did not need to be. Not for a being sustained by the marvels of Allagan technology.
Did he plug himself back in?
As long as some piece of Bahamut persists, the coils will seek it out and continue their regenerative task.
Oh.
The fragments of Dalamud appear motionless from the surface, but deep beneath the ground they had been searching, tunneling through rock and soil towards their escaped prisoner. And, as you have observed for yourselves, they found his heart. Warrior of Light, heed me. You must put a stop to Bahamut's regeneration. Whether it be for man or for dragonkind. The question of justice is irrelevant. The Elder Primal will leave naught but a smoldering wasteland for both his children and ours. I beg you to defend Eorzea and guide its people to the future they yet struggle to find.
Maybe let's make peace with the dragons while we're at it so they don't do this again. Isn't there one more coil, though?
This portal will take you to the final internment, Hulk. 'Tis time for the tale of Bahamut and his part in the calamity to come to an end. Alvino, Alize, pray, come closer. Your hopes and dreams must no longer be an extension of mine. You must needs find your own reason to fight for this realm, your own meaning in this sea of chaos.
Internally, Alphina's just like, I told you so. But this really puts into
Will you
perspective
do
how young
that
they are.
for me?
Of course, Grandfather. I have already made it my mission to see this newborn Eorzea survive and flourish.
Alize, while I was yet enthralled to Bahamut, you spoke of my faith in man's strength. Know that your words reached me, imprisoned though my soul still was. So forceful was your conviction, I wonder if that belief has not become your own. Perhaps, after all your anger and sorrow was spent, you found something greater within you. See this fight to its culmination. 'Tis also your strength in which I have faith.
Thank you for everything. Pray, take your rest, Grandfather. You deserve it.
There are records of an art that allowed one to summon the power of a primal from the essence of its demise. And though I am no true primal, all that I have left, I give to you. Alvino, Alize, my darling grandchildren. May light's blessings ever keep and protect you.
Come, warrior of light. Our task remains undone.
I guess it does. It feels like this should be the last one, though. Ooh. Wait, what? Huh? Exit. Okay, here we go. I think we can technically enter from the other one. Maybe you could do them back to back? But it's an odd dungeon. Alright, last bit. What do you have in store for me, big man? Does Bahamut himself speak? Wait, should you two be here? Can you be tempered? What did he give them? Protection against tempering? Can they become Phoenix now? Is Phoenix the primal of the
It
humans?
was a long and arduous road, but at last we reach its end. Farewell, Bahamut. I banish you back to the ether.
I was gonna say, I don't think he's gonna go quietly if possible.
He is not yet whole. I did not think him capable.
He's got a brain and a heart. not stand here dumbstruck.
Alize! Alize!
I had thought it finally over. We will not survive another blast.
I got shields. Let me use them.
No. Is this how I honor my promise to grandfather?
You must needs find your own reason to fight for this realm. Your own meaning in this sea of chaos. Will you do that for me?
I will, grandfather. In fact, I believe I already have. That reason has been with me all along, guiding me. Eorzea's blade of light, shearing through endless shrouds of darkness. I have been shown the miraculous feats of which we are all capable, of which I am capable. Bahamut, you have wreaked enough havoc. I will not let your wrathful fires consume all that we know and love.
Heck yeah. Hack it to bits if we gotta.
How long I have waited to hear you say that. You have found your resolve at last.
So can one of us take an offensive shot?
Join my strength to yours.
I think we need a little more than a shield.
In this place, in this moment, our purpose has become one.
Alright, one's blue and one's purple. Is there significance to that? Sort of like the crystals. One's blue, one's purple.
For the future of Eorzea!
This last task is yours, Warrior of Light. You must destroy Bahamut's crystal core.
Yeah, because this seems like powers of the crystal itself. Are those books a gift from Hydaelyn? Ignore the other poo-poos. That's if we were in a full party. Cutscene did not accommodate. Ready. Of course it gives us the opening music. Okay, looks like he's watching us for something. This is probably really cool to experience as an actual raid. Alas, we only have the simulacrum. The Gust of Maricidia. I wonder if these are leftovers. I'm trying to get a better view of the arena here. Bahamut? Bahamut? The sin of Maricidia. Was it their sins or Alag's? It might be tied to the music, too. He might come out as soon as the crescendo hits. 3, 2, 1? No, it loops at this part. Are we supposed to stand in that? I remember for the one boss, you needed to stand on it. So yeah, I wonder if Heaven's Word or future expansions, I know one of them is going to be really dragon-based. Will tell us more about what happened to Mysidia here. Whee! There we go. Flare dampening. 10 seconds. Is this to get our shields up? 3, 2, just in case. Out of a bind. See, I told you he could do a mini form if he really put his mind to it. Now how to get out. That book warp out? Final Coil of Bahamut complete. Did it. Away. Ah, there we go, treasure. Right. What? You good?
You did it!
We did it. Everybody did it, least of all me, if anything. But yeah, they should have made this a duty with, like, NPCs if they were gonna make it this story important. Holy crap.
But one task remains.
Putting an end to all this.
With this last coil disabled, there shall be naught left to bind Bahamut to this world. His beloved children will finally know peace.
And what about the other dragons? Do they just not know of him? Or do they know better than to summon him? Is that a crystal? It's purple. Is that a corrupted crystal? No, it wouldn't be. Purple's just dark crystals, but red's corrupted. But then is that another crystal from... The crystal tower took us to the other side. Was he originally... Were the dragons originally from the other side? The world of darkness.
Tis done. He is truly gone. You knew, didn't you? You knew what Grandfather had become.
To this extent, probably not.
I was not certain, but from all I had gleaned, it seemed a distinct possibility. The scene people describe of the Battle of Cartano was one of unimaginable devastation, and 'tis through the combined prayers of the desperate and an abundant source of ether that primals are born. I merely put two and two together.
Yeah, sure.
And you consider that a sufficient explanation?
I'm with your sister on this
However
one.
you stumbled across your theory, 'twas this revelation that made you wary of my attachment to Grandfather. You feared that in my obsession I would fall under his primal sway. Is that why you decided to join us? To pull me back should I show signs of wavering?
Pray forgive me, sister. I wished only to protect you. Yet I see now that I needn't have doubted the strength of your conviction. May I ask you a question? What do you now intend to do with the truth you have uncovered?
Dismantle this place. Study it, perhaps, but...
Which particular truth was that, brother? The fact that desperate prayer gave rise to the primal phoenix? That this new god was responsible for setting Eorzea on the path to rebirth? Should such a tale become common knowledge, people would soon offer up their prayers in earnest. They would beseech Phoenix to complete the healing that was begun.
Yet as you and I know all too well, the very act of calling forth this savior would do more harm to the land than good. We cannot encourage such worship for this very reason. Were Grandfather forced to return as an ether-draining primal, it would undo all that he had worked to protect. Your abiding love for him was the key that unlocked the truth of the calamity. But keys may also serve to seal doors that were best left unopened. Let your love now guide your actions, and lock away deep inside the fate of both Grandfather and Bahamut.
Fear not, Alphino. I understand what must be done. The realm need not know the truth for it to be saved. That the Elder Primal is banished, to return no more. That is enough.
We take this to the grave.
Let us make our way back to the surface. Poor Oriange must be beside himself with worry.
Even this stuff, in 13, this wasn't necessarily crystal itself, it was the shredding of the worlds between. Basically, the world was becoming unraveled. Let us continue on then. We have said our thanks and bid our parties farewell. In spite of your presence, I must confess there were moments when I feared the worst, but in the end you plucked us from the flames and bore us safely into victory, just as you always have. As for Alice, I have never been more proud to call her my sister. And here we are again. After that descent into darkness, the desolation of northern Thanalan seems paradisal. As promised, I shan't reveal the truth of the calamity to a single soul. However, the nations of Eorzea will require certain assurances, and the threat of a new primal is gone. Sorry, I goofed up my recording at the beginning, so you're not going to see that, but I have the giggles as a result. Keep in the dark ere long. 'Tis only a matter of time before they seek answers of their own accord. Let us recommend that the fragments of Dalamud are sealed off, and that the truth may never rest undisturbed. If we can even do that, wouldn't it be better to disassemble it? But first, we must go and report to Urianger. It would not do to keep him in suspense. I dare say we shall find him pacing up and down at the cerulean processing plant. Because I feel like eventually somebody else is just going to bust into him anyway to learn what transpired and what they're for. Stuck. Yeah, because we have a very similar Phoenix as a summon due to the 10th anniversary. Ah, the warrior of light returneth undimmed from the depths of darkness. By thy triumphant bearing, I take it thou hast succeeded in thy mission. And yet thou art alone. Mistake me not, dear friend, full glad am I of thy safe return, but where, pray, are Master Alphino and Mistress Alice? Well, they were right behind me. Hello, my friend. Forgive our lateness. We took the scenic route.
Bahamut is no more. The realm is safe.
By the heavens, look at you! What horrors your young eyes must have seen! What suffering your young bodies must have borne! Pray tell me, where are you hurt? Your wounds must need be cleansed and dressed at once. I shall make you a poultice which draweth out.
Be at ease, my friend. We are hale and whole, I assure you. We took a few tumbles, but the worst of our hurts are healed. I believe we have grandfather to thank for that.
Master Louisoix? Then you met with him once more. But wherefore should Bahamut's thrall seek to ease your suffering?
I promise to reveal all to you in due course, dear friend. But first, there is a matter which requires our immediate attention. Now that Bahamut is defeated, we deem it best to bar entry to all of the fragments of Dalamud. To this end, we will convince the nation's leaders that the danger is past, and invite their cooperation in ensuring that the fragments are never again disturbed. Come, let us depart and seek an audience with them forthwith.
A moment, sister. You need not burden yourself with this task. Urianger and I will more than suffice. Might you not take this opportunity to rest? The gods know you've earned it. You get burned too.
But I'm fine, brother. Besides, you've been through as much as I have. Oh, I see now. You would play your game of diplomacy and wish me out of the way.
No, naught could be further from the truth, Alice. Siblings. My lady, 'Tis mine earnest belief that your brother hath your best interest at heart. You have more than done your part, and he desireth but to relieve you of a burden he might easily bear alone. I have some experience treating with dignitaries, you must allow, and as you never fail to remind me of my fondness for diplomacy, I feel it only right that I remind you of your aversion to it. To diplomacy, or to bureaucracy involving diplomacy? Then it is settled. Urianger, pray make arrangements for a chocobo carriage. The ride should give us ample time to prepare our story. Because we all gotta be in on the lie.
Alfino! Though our paths are different, we share the same goal, do we not?
But of course, dear sister, that which we have just achieved together stands as testament to that fact. Whatever path we choose to take, our hearts shall ever lead us to the same end. Of that I am certain.
Thank you. There is a place I would visit. Might you accompany me?
I want to know more about that book.
But first, I do believe a change of garments is in order. I won't take a moment.
So I take it you have duplicates of that? Oh no, you're just wearing something else in the meantime.
The landscape is the same. Of course, there is no reason it would be otherwise. Though it would be poetic for the fragments to magically disappear, I am well aware that they shall remain long after you and I are gone.
I hear children. That, I think, is a marker to one of the 12 gods.
The world may change irrevocably, but life shall ever go on. Let us take a closer look, shall we?
I wonder, too, if getting the Phoenix for the 10th anniversary is sort of Yoshi P's way of saying, since it's his game, he is a way a primal of his own world.
I have no doubt that Alfino will do an admirable job concealing the truth of the calamity. And such truths are well revealed in those dark depths will never see the light of day. I myself agreed that must be so. But the thought that the people of Eorzea shall forever remain ignorant of their savior, of your deeds, the injustice of it is almost too much for me to bear.
Hey, it's true of all history, though.
How typical of you. Ever the hero. Even so, I cannot deny that I feel better for your reassurance. But I want you to know that I will never forget. You are the one who freed Grandfather's soul and saved Eorzea from Bahamut's wrath. And though these great deeds will never be remembered in song, their consequences will be felt forevermore by every soul who calls this realm home.
We finally get to see really pretty shots of this game, which I feel like it's neglected to do up until this point.
Yes, this spot will do.
Though to be fair, I do know that they did a Realm Reborn on a budget, so here's hoping we get more cutscenes like this in future expansions.
For Grandfather, Nail, and all the dragons of Mercidia, for all those who were taken by the calamity.
Is it kind of fitting that it looks a bit like a lunar tear?
At long last, our struggle with Bahamut is over. The realm, given new life through the prayers and sacrifices of countless souls, may look to a brighter tomorrow. When the dust of our adventure is settled, I shall embark on a journey. I mean to find my own reason to fight for Eorzea. And when I do, I will fight with all my being. You have done so much for me, Bren. One day, I hope to be able to repay you in kind.
I hope to be able to do so for all the people who carried me.
I have no doubt but that you will come to continue to help those in need, and grow ever stronger in doing so. I shall endeavor to do the same, and if the 12 are kind, I hope one day to become Eorzea's sword in the darkness, as you are. Come what may, you may rest assured that I will not be outdone by Alphino. When next we meet, I promise that I will not disappoint you. Till that day, fare you well, my friend, and thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Alice's Path, quest complete. A new chapter of New Game Plus has been added. Yay! So I could technically maybe do it that way now too, but I'll let it together the way it is. And then I can always go back in my own time. But I just want to make sure really quickly that I got it all. Alright. Yeah, that's it. That is everything. That is all of it, I think. I hope. Because otherwise, this will be a very awkward video if it's not. And like I said, once I am stronger, I probably will go back to do the Binding Coil solo on my own. The main issue being that I'm too low-leveled to do it as is, as I am. And so if I'm to do it solo, I have to do it by myself. But the other issue with going in with a regular party is that nobody wants to do regular party for that again. Everybody's moving on to the new stuff. So that's the reason why I did it the way I did. And I've heard some things too, I don't know what will make it into the final cut of this, is that Alice's dialogue apparently changes depending on when you do the quest. So if you do it Heavensward or post-Heavensward, I'm told her dialogue changes. So I really don't want to miss out on the actual dialogue of when you're supposed to get it done. And it did. So with that, this is where I'm going to call it. So thank you so much to everyone who has joined, including people who have joined me in quests. And I hope to see you all in future videos. Bye-bye!